Literally, I think I'm gonna have the biggest scars on my leg from the moment he tried to jump out. Obviously bleeding to death.
He was literally like dragging himself up. That was so
With
funny.
my skin.
That was fucking hilarious.
What's your self-care routine and rituals? You just open like that.
Why do you look so exhausted asking me that
I'm
question?
just like thinking.
Yeah,
Oh,
okay, let's
anyway.
open like that.
So what's your favorite self-care routine?
Okay, so things that I value for self-care, monthly waxing.
Oh, yes. Preach.
Love it.
Love it. I've booked like 5 and ahead now.
Gee whiskers, that's very impressive.
On
I do
clock.
1 month ahead.
Yeah,
That's
but
it.
yeah, I was like
Yeah,
5
that's
ahead.
so good. I mean, it's not like it's gonna go stale.
You
Why not
never
book
know.
5 and ahead?
You never
I'm just so scared that like I don't know where I'm gonna be in 5 months' time.
No, I'm of that now where I want to know where I'm going to be in 5 months' time.
Look at you go, self-care routine.
Self-care routine. I want to know where I'm going to be, and I'm just like, fuck that. Can I just? And also, it helps me block book everything.
Yes.
So like, I'll have a morning versus, you know, what freaks me out. So I'm hijacking this now. What freaks me out is like, Monday I have that, Tuesday I have that, and then all of a sudden my fucking week is a wreck.
Did I not rattle my whole week to you off last night where I was literally?
Yes. I think you sent me your schedule for March. You sent like.
Oh yes, I sent you a photo. Yeah.
Almost vomited instantly. And I remember at one stage I was like, I wanted to invite you to something. I was like, oh, I have a schedule. And I was like, oh,
no.
Not inviting her. No, it's hairy. It's hairy.
No,
hairy and
it
scary.
is.
But waxing, yes.
Waxing is a goodie. Another thing that I enjoy doing for myself from self-care is cooking my you-cook meals.
Yes.
That's fast become like what my favorite time to spend with myself. Put on a podcast. What's great about the you-cook, I don't know if this is a potential sponsorship looming. You cook, hello. Tag them in this post. That everything comes exactly portioned.
Yeah.
And the recipe is there. You don't have to think about it.
Yeah.
So it's so mindless and easy. And what's great is I've like built this relationship with my kitchen. Like I know where all my utensils are. I know what size pots are, where my strainers are, graters, etc. So I put on a podcast, like true crime, someone getting murdered in the worst possible way.
Something else getting chopped.
Yeah, and then I just get to cook my meal. And that for me is really just like my favorite time to spend with myself.
That's I also like cooking like that, but I like the doom scrolling on Pinterest of all the recipes, saving them, which I know I'm never going to be able to do. I have like folders and folders and folders on that. But then I'll obviously have a few, and then what I love is making my own recipes between the two of them, and then
you're amazing like that.
I'm not very good at like I'm not like this perfect cook.
You're very good. Sorry,
okay,
those chicken pies.
Oh, yeah, that was good.
That we need to. Can we make likewise chicken pies?
Oh my god, imagine! But listen, those chicken pies came from me. I love making a broth. I don't know why. It's the easiest thing to do, and then your house just smells semi-amazing, and you have this amazing thing. I flippin' love it. Yeah. Anyway, so I made myself a challenge that weekend, because it was like the first rainy weekend, that I was going to try and repurpose everything from the broth.
It's amazing.
Because I don't do the broth just with bones. I like do a whole chicken. I'll try and I'll sear the chicken a little bit and that's a good thing. So it's like has that like seary vibe to it in the broth.
Like caramelized.
Yes, that's good. Yeah. And then I put it in the broth as well.
Oh.
Or like I start the broth from the pot then.
Oh.
And then if we can just save these sounds and reuse it. And then I make the broth of that, and then I obviously have this whole cooked chicken. Everything falls apart, but you can't just use the chicken because it's a bit dryish. Also, so you kind of going to do something with it.
Yeah.
So that week, I was like, I have this challenge. Like even the vegetables I use, I chopped up, put it in the chicken pie. Onions, carrots, all this thing. I chopped it up. I also made I don't know if I told you this. I made a squash butternut, sage, ricotta lasagna.
Stop it.
That was not as great, but the idea was great.
Yes, yeah.
So
and again, you like pulling inspiration and So is that part of your self-care, is doom scrolling and creating menus for yourself?
But a big self-care factor for me, and we'll get into the next epi, is like obviously what I eat when I eat it, because it's like because of where I come from and diet and stuff. But for me, I love the fact of having meals ready in my fridge. I don't thrive in like, cool, it's 5 o'clock. That night I'm going to cook X, Y, Z. I don't thrive on that. Like, I don't thrive on that. Yeah, I need some stuff done. I'm happy to chop a quick salad up, but I don't strive in cooking for myself every
Yes,
night.
yeah.
I'll cook on a Sunday and there's like stuff, and I love it if I walk to the fridge on a Monday and I'm mid thinking of something and I can just quickly heat up something and it's done.
Oh no, meal prepping is just such.
Yeah.
So I've now even started meal prepping my smoothies. So all my dry
Yes.
ingredients, my protein powder, my oats, my cinnamon thing, all in jars. And then in my freezer Tupperware is my berries, my frozen bananas, and then I just add in my macadamia milk, whatever it is. And that is, I love it.
Yeah, it's just like boom.
And then with the you cook as well, like I don't cook it every night. I cook it on a Monday and then I prep 4 meals out of that, and then I cook again on a Wednesday. And
yeah, that's fine. But these women who come from work, or whoever, and then like make a roast.
No, insanity. Who's got the time?
No, I don't want to do that. I just want to chill. If
Yeah,
I have like a busy
yeah.
day. And you know, also like that, which I also love. I was so happy when I heard that other people also do it. Is Irene.
Okay.
She's so good because remember they have Sane now. Her husband's like this major.
So wait, she meal preps.
She does, and she does it so well. Yeah, she does it so well. And I mean, I was so happy the day I heard that she's also one of me in that. Like, one of us. I was like so excited. I was like lying there and I was like, "We do? Like, is there more of us?" Because people like some people frown on it, like, "How can you not eat fresh every night?" I was like, "Because I'm fucking tired. I just need to eat a good meal.
Yes,
you know, like, I'd rather do that than go for like an easy fish finger and
100%.
frozen chips.
Listen, our whole history will be coming out. Our whole food history is coming out next week. So that's going to be an interesting journey.
That's a biggie for us, I think. It's the cooking thing.
Yeah,
it's good to have this.
We are really both actively building relationships with food
in a different way, which is quite interesting.
That is interesting.
So that's that, yeah.
And then another self-care routine that I have spoken about before on the pod is my nighttime routine.
Yeah, you're so good with that. Listen, love that.
Let me just be completely honest.
You fucked it up.
Yeah. Listen, when I am so good about it, I'm so good about it.
Yeah.
I just my latest therapy session, my therapist has basically told me I'm currently rebelling against myself. Like I went too far in setting up structures and routines and trying to achieve this like perfect life. Guys, we are simply just human. Like it's bound to happen.
It irritates us as well. We are human.
Yeah. I hate being human. But when I am doing my nighttime routine, it's absolutely amazing to have my incense and my candles and my classical music and just low lighting and warmth and just this like real hub of comfort that for me, those elements for me are comfort.
So tell me, and when because you taught me this whole word ritual, which was like changed a lot for me because I just would fall in bed and doom scroll until I fell asleep. And but like how long before you sleep do you do that? Do you put your phone on do not disturb? Like what is your
So I have an alarm that goes off every night at 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
And it's a really soothing sound.
Oh, that's also important because these alarms that fucking
No. So it's a really soothing, like very low tone alarm that and it's called my wind down. Mm-hmm. And so that kind of and that's 9 o'clock. And then I give myself from then about 30 to 45 minutes to climb into bed. Part of that routine is also before all the low lighting and the fun stuff starts, I do all my dishes first.
Yes, no, life must be done.
Yeah, life must be done. And so it's dishes done. So before I put the classical music on, because once that happens, that is my body literally going into ready to go shut down.
So just hold a minute. Do you do your dishes before you eat your meal?
No, after. I do my dishes at 9 o'clock.
Oh, so I cannot enjoy my meal. If I cook something that night and I know my kitchen is waiting full of dishes, I can't. So I'll cook, then I'll clean my kitchen. Obviously, then in one plate will be there.
Yes.
And then I eat and then I feel like,
wow.
I don't go back and then struggle again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I want to be in my food.
It is a little bit of a jarring moment where I have to get off the couch and be like, now I have to go do my dishes.
And you know what? The one thing I have, because I have a fucking small kitchen, you know, my kitchen, it's literally the size of me just turning in a circle. And I love it so much because as I'm cooking something here, I can just clean something there. That's what I did before I had Denise, the dishwasher. But like normally it was so quick for me to do everything. So while I'm cooking, my dishes are being done. And this one day I was standing in my kitchen, I was doing it. I was like, I'm gonna hate big, lovely, roomy kitchen one day because like this has been so convenient for me.
Yes.
So by the time I literally have my everything up.
Well, now you can just throw things into the dishwasher as you're doing it. It's amazing. That's amazing.
It's disgustingly amazing. I don't know how I did life before that.
So good.
Yeah. So no, that's a good one, the whole routine thing. Because last night we went to paint and I literally went from a 3-hour meeting. I ran to you, which was fun. And then we had it was a nice chilled evening. There was a bit of pressure in getting done in time. I had this self-made competition. And then I went from that home.
The way that you took that pressure on.
Self-made, and I took it on. But then I went home and I had such a difficult time falling asleep. It felt like I was partying the whole night. And I woke up at 2 o'clock. Wow. Because they fucking fixed the street light at 2 o'clock. So I heard the fucking crane go up at 2 a.m. Yeah. How amazing is City of Cape Town? They came out at 2 a.m. to come fix this light.
I don't know if you're being sarcastic or not.
I'm kind of impressed because they were dead quiet also.
Except for the crane. Yeah.
I was like, fuck, what's happening? So, but I mean, I woke up because maybe I'm a light sleeper to strange noise. I don't know. But they came at 2 o'clock.
That is amazing.
2:37 to be exact.
Okay.
I hear, and it's like a different vibration. Normally I'm used to like a funky vibration. And I knew it was off. That's why I was like, that is a new toy. So I came to the front and I saw that at 2:37 they were fixing the light. That is light. Which is kind of impressive. That is
impressive.
That's City of Cape Town for you. But then the guy that lives opposite that has a dog that was barking at them. And I was like, oh, you're not going to fix that. Anyway, we digressing. But I didn't have my wine down last night.
And it influenced your whole...
I didn't sleep well. I was late, 2 hours late.
If I don't do my wind down, I wake up anxious.
Exactly.
It's a real like impact. There's a saying that I absolutely love. Your day starts the night before.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. And it really is just so accurate in the sense of if you start your day and you're scrambling and you haven't done... If you can set yourself up the day before, your day is done.
So I want to add on to that if I can at this point. So for me, a big self-care thing, a sort of routine I do is I grind. Like I'm getting very holy and grail about my morning routine. So I like to wake up at 5. I make my coffee. I read my book. And this is what I heard somewhere. Someone on Instagram said, "You are responsible for your nervous system during the day." So it's my responsibility to grind myself in the morning to show up in this non-frantic or stressed or whatever's anger state. Like sort yourself out.
Right.
It's your responsibility to grind yourself for the day, to manage your nervous system.
And it's very, like, I mean, I will rock up here, for example, for a recording day and be all frantic and be like, oh my gosh, I've been so busy and I've been rushing, almost like making it your problem. And it has nothing to do with, or whoever I'm showing up with.
Whatever energy anyone's.
But I could have woken up an hour earlier today and like set my day up properly.
But we're all busy now. These past months are hectic. But in general, yes, sure.
Yes.
I just want to say in this very fucking round, take an hours and relax. But like I just think, as a general rule of thumb, you are responsible for your nervous system. Whatever that routine might be. Mine is, I've learned. Everyone's different. You might actually thrive, whoever you are, jumping up, immediately going for a cold. But I don't thrive in that. Don't make me do it. I don't want to do it.
I've learned to honor mornings so much.
My mornings need to be slow, and I understand I need to be places by 8, 9 o'clock. I need to be there. So that's not their responsibility. So I wake up at 5.
Yes.
And I grind myself on whatever I need to do. Sometimes it's reading a book. Sometimes it's doom scrolling a little bit. And catching up or replying to, I don't engage in messaging actually in that time, because then people are going to come back to you, whatever. I try not to do that. But it could be something meaningful, as in reading or journaling, or it could literally be frivolous. But
morning grounding. Yeah, that's
for the reason of it's my responsibility to ground myself for the rest of the day, how I show up.
Yes.
And if I'm angry, I journal it out, whatever the case may be. Yes. That's biggie for me that I'm going to get very holy about.
I would love to adopt that into my... I struggle to wake up, but that's on, like, I just need to be better in the mornings, but I'll get
sleep
there.
Enough?
I do, I think, but not always. I'm really preaching a lot about like routine instructions of haven't been following it at all for myself.
We are living our lives.
Like we are living our lives at the moment.
But at least we know.
But the idea is that I would love to be in bed by 9:30, 10, and then wake up at 5:30, 6, 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock for me, I'm a little slower than you in the morning. So 6 for me is my...
No, but I mean, that sounds like 8 hours.
Yeah.
That's my point, because this week I realized how bad my math skills are. I thought I was clocking a good 8 hours, because I know I need 7.5 to 8 hours. I know there's this back in the day in my 20s, I could be like 4 hours working. I cannot do that now, and I don't want to.
Yes.
So I said to someone, I think I said it to Tez, and I was like, I think I realized how bad I was mathing, because I was waking up tired every morning, because yes, I was clocking 6.5, 7 hours. Which is like I don't. And then this week I would made it a big point of like 8 o'clock, everything wind down like that. 9 o'clock lights off, I'm sleeping, and I woke up fine,
Amazing.
rested.
I'm glad that you're sleeping.
Yes, I did
Because
struggle.
there was a period where you
coming
weren't.
off all those drugs is hard. Yeah. But I've
Hectic.
also changed my vitamins. I'm on magnesium, whatever the
Oh
word is.
yes,
It's
yeah,
just
and
one.
like sleepy things.
Yeah, and I'm doing all the things, and all these things are attributing to it.
Amazing.
So yeah, that's
very
a biggie.
interesting.
So but I like what you're saying. The night before, set you up for the next day, which is part of what we're just saying.
Yes.
Because if you don't plan it, you're not going to sleep fucking 8 hours, and that's an issue.
Yes.
Like me, or if you're bad at maths, like me, then you're gonna have that issue. Fuck, I was really thinking of nailing it.
Did you do maths lit or high grade?
I didn't in our school.
I didn't do maths.
Yeah, in our school, you didn't. I didn't do maths.
Bonnievale.
No, because remember, I come from the curriculum of high grade, standard grade, low grade.
Yeah, okay.
And then you could choose your subjects.
Or no grade.
Yeah, or no grade. And again, a fucking teacher told me how bad I am at maths, and I believed them, and then I never took maths. And actually, I love numbers. I actually love numbers, data, building budgets.
You're very good at it, yeah.
I bloody will thrive. I love it. And the bloody teacher said it to me because she didn't have patience with me. Because
maybe maths isn't the problem, it's just learning how to tell the time.
Yeah, maybe that. Which is even worse, to be very honest with you. But you know what's hilarious? Then we got a new principal, a new math teacher, his wife, and she said to me, I wish you were my student because you're the perfect math. Because the way I asked questions, she fucking loved it.
Oh, that's so
And she's like, I wish you were in my class because you would thrive. And I was like, I wish you were my teacher then because you
have so much. That's the kind of teacher you want.
And then to add to our discussion tomorrow, then I had a boss that that would constantly remind me at like doing bad math and stuff, and actually turned out he was very bad at it.
Wow, fascinating.
Out the heat, but then it turns out it was not me. Actually. But anyway, I'm actually bloody well. I love it. Anyway, that's the point. So that's self rituals. What else do we have on the board there? Oh, something I love because we have talking notes. Everyone, we don't just fucking show up and talk about bullshit. We plan. I am, and this is I've always done it for years, but then I upgraded to a very serious skin journey.
Right.
And I committed to doing needling and all those things. And luckily, we are with the best girl ever, and Arena does that for us. But I've committed big time to that skin journey because
you got me onto a skin journey because I never had a skin journey before you.
Did you start with me chemical peeling at the one spa, and then we moved over to Anarene? Because I think I moved over a year ago maybe, because we were getting a bit older. I was getting older, I feel, at least, and I was just thinking things aren't happening the way I needed it to happen.
Yeah.
And this chick took me
again with that instant gratification that we want.
100%.
But when you've been doing something for over a year, there should be some kind of a result.
And I just loved how she took us in. Like her thing is also to longing. Like she was so
100%.
Listen, I would message that girl in the beginning, being like, "This is not working for me, bitch. Upgrade the cream. Something isn't." And she'd be so kind and patient, explaining we need to take a bit of time. And I wish I took before and after shots with her, or before shots so that I can compare. But I know the differences already. And like this year, I'm going to commit big time this winter. I'm doing 3 mega needles back to back. So it's going to be one red festival.
I'm hoping to join you on the journey because I'd love to just needle the shit out of my face. Like I want to anti-age. I want to go backwards.
Well, listen, I think we were the right girl because again, she's so good with like planning these things, and she really shares the knowledge that she's building up for herself, which is flipping incredible.
The thing that I also love is like there have been times where I'm like financially strapped, like there are tough months, and I go and I'm like I can't do XYZ, and she's like totally fine. Do the bare minimum, just keep it consistent.
Exactly what I love as well. But also these things are expensive.
Yeah,
which is the female tax that we are paying.
Yes.
But again,
we doing an episode about that.
I think
female tax.
Yeah, we are.
Yes.
But I just want to say she has a good male clientele as well, who's also showing up for their skins, which I'm very grateful and happy for. But I mean, we are putting in the work.
Yes.
But yeah, I love her for that she has grace and compassion for us because 100%. The reason I'm doing mine in winter, I said I'm not doing a needle in summer.
Yeah.
I just don't.
That in of itself is a form of self-care, knowing what your boundaries are and not pushing them.
So now I'm doing like every 6 weeks in winter. I'm gonna have this little red watermelon face.
I love it. I'm so excited.
So that's gonna be interesting. But I love the fact that we have the school bar on our side.
Yeah.
I'm grateful to the fact I was so far I've been able to commit to everything. But she's luckily grace for us. That's awesome if you have a person and friends in your camp. But that is a big thing I've been doing for self-care, which is like more the superficial stuff.
I must be honest. My intention behind looking after my face, as I say next week as well, is only because I want to look hot.
100%.
Well, not look hot. Like you have to have certain facial features to be a certain level of hot, but like at the very least, like I want to have good skin.
I think you want the look you're trying to say
And it's so
taken care
vain.
of. Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's like you're showing up for yourself. And yeah, but I think
It's superficial and it's vain, and I'm owning it. I'll take it.
I'll take it with you. You're not going to be alone in that camp, because dare anyone say to me that they don't want to look their best.
Yeah.
Introduce me to the person that says, "Hi, my name is X. I'm happy to look like a sack of shit." Like, please introduce me to that person. There's one person's name I can say, which I won't say because you will laugh a bit. But I mean, I'm joking, love you. But like, no one is going to walk up to the mirror and say, "Hey, I'm just so excited to look like a sack of shit."
Yes.
So excited to feel like it as well.
Yeah.
Yay, me. No one is saying that.
Yes.
It's just you implement the things that make you feel good, don't feel good, and you go from
Yeah.
there. And these things have been great for us. You know, like my one friend Lily, literally her skin looks like porcelain from being with Anarine. And I've known her before she was with Anarine or not.
Okay.
I mean, Anarine, you must actually flipping sponsor us.
Yes.
Jokes, but like the difference in Lily's skin as well. Like I looked at the other day, she had no makeup on, and literally, I was like, "You look like a porcelain
But that's
doll."
how you look to me.
I mean,
like you're my skin inspiration.
We're just gonna get married and get it done over with, because I don't think I'm gonna get a man that's gonna say all these things. Or at least can you groom him?
Listen, do you know what's so embarrassing? I showed someone a photograph of myself from a couple of years ago, and they said that I'm unrecognizable.
But
and I'm
in a
like,
good way.
no. No, in a like, you looked so young and hot, and now you look so old and drained.
I don't think you meant saying young and hot.
I didn't say it was a he.
Oh, sorry. I don't think that person's meant young and hot. Now you're not hot, but maybe just like carefree, and now the world's stress and pressure is on you. But that is the truth. Like,
so I need to needle that out of my face.
Listen, Irene can do a lot, but now we're putting a lot of pressure on that woman. That woman is carrying the world, and she's probably sitting in her car listening. Fuck, I can't do everything, guys. I can't do everything.
But yeah, so other self-care things that I learned last year. So I did that retreat last year, obviously, and meditation and journaling came up as like a really big one for me.
And you built like a little thing for yourself. I remember we went to Millie Market, you bought a little booty.
I got my Buddha. And I've got my incense stick. I've got like a little shrine, which again, my whole...
Can we just disclaim a shrine? You're not like fucking whipping yourself with all kinds of strange rituals there.
Why not?
Yes.
But yeah, I've moved into a different space in my apartment, and so my shrine is actually dismantled at the moment. So it's just sitting in a little corner, and I don't get to sit and do my meditation the way that everything is just, I'm in a transitional period.
But listen,
but everyone knows what my goals are for my self-care.
Yeah. The list.
Yeah.
For me, another thing I do is I love my alone walks. And people get so offended when I'm doing this, or like, "Oh, why don't you invite me along? Because I don't want your irritating voice next to me." Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to speak to you. That's actually why.
Yes.
No jokes, but like walking on the prom by the ocean, water is a big thing for me. Like
I remember Deval Park by the water fountain.
Yes. But you know, walking in Deval Park at like midday, you must see the people that fucking the carefreeness,
living their lives.
Yeah, like energy that's there's amazing.
Well, you are a part of that energy. You're part of the carefree energy.
Yes, and now I did that because I mean I couldn't sit, I couldn't lie down. It's the only thing I could do at one stage. I haven't been in weeks actually, but like when I did do that, it was lovely. But for me, walking alone and regrouping my thoughts, or listening to a flipping in-depth podcast by the ocean, I miss that. I haven't been able to do that since last year, obviously.
Yes.
I miss that, but that's a big thing for me. Or even sitting and watching the ocean.
Most times that I hear from you, you're like, oh, I'm going for a walk on the prom, or oh, I'm on a walk on the prom, or I'm going for... Now everyone knows where to find her. Most days.
Someone can let my husband also know, because I think he's... but yeah, I think that is a biggie for me. And I asked you, I think last night, I heard this question when someone said, if you were speaking to your 8-year-old self, like as an inner child thing, and just the joy you had when you were little before life actually happened.
Yes.
If you were speaking to your 8-year-old self and they were excited to tell you what they were doing for fun, like, what are you up to today? And, you know, you imagine speaking to a child, what would that answer be? And for me, it came up swimming, like playful swimming.
Yes.
Like Wolamakisi, like how you also said, just playing in the water. And I think that's why I love the ocean so much, because I remember beach holidays and being in that tilty vibe.
Yes.
I miss that so much.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
When are we going to go do a Wolamakisi in the ocean?
The day we can go to an ocean that is actually palatable, because the thing we have here is not an ocean. This is torture. I know. Every day, time you tell me, I say to myself, I know I need to get into it. I just don't want to.
It's gorgeous.
But I love steaming. that heat steaming thing. I don't like this cold bathing thing, but you are very good with the cold bath.
That's one of my self-care things, I guess. Also, gosh, I'm really like just dispelling myself. I need to stop disclaiming at the end of everything saying how I haven't been doing all
you
these
have to
things.
stop, because again, life happens. You have to actually stop saying it, because you will get back into the routine. It's just, luckily, you know what those things are.
Yeah, and I know that they work for me.
Exactly.
And I know that they're there as my crutches.
I think sometimes you just know what it is, it's already valuable.
Self-care is giving myself grace and stop excusing myself through this. Can we just?
It is literally that. I 100% agree with you. So that is 100% part of it. What's the other thing? You know what a big thing for me is? I'm getting very hectic about my schedule, my time, what I focus on. So like normally I would be instant on chats and WhatsApps and all kinds of things. I'm not doing that anymore.
Yeah.
I'm trying to block when I reply to people. Like as I'm sitting, which is actually so unlikely, but I've like 5 to 10 unread stuff I need to get back to friends, because I haven't, like in a week, I haven't gotten back to them, because it's like a catch-up voice and whatever.
Yes.
That's something
that is a self-care thing.
Yeah, but it just gets too much, because your attention goes flipping everywhere. I'm trying to do that, like ground and get a schedule and like pre-book all my nail appointments, and like book it in a way where I know there's a Monday where I'm going to drive from point to point, and it's one day and I can focus for the rest of the week.
And the other thing is also like you leave all those messages till a day or a time that you choose, and say it's like a Sunday between 10 and 2, and you go, now I'm going to catch up with everyone. I'm going to invest proper time into giving a decent response. It's not a rushed response. You're giving actual feedback, and maybe they respond or maybe they don't. And if they do respond, you leave it for another week or another 3 or 4 days until you're ready to give proper feedback.
Or, you know, if you really want to hear from me, let's book some time out and fucking spend the time. Not like this
little baby catch up, rush
bullshit. I know everyone's life is busy, but it's busy because it's all this rushed bullshit along with that. Let's just schedule a time, catch
up. Really feeling that, like that urge to just settle into quality time with people and not rush things and not just do things for the sake of doing things.
Agreed.
And I had plans for this afternoon, and I could just feel that I was going to be rushing to get to those, and then rushing and then not enjoying that, and then rushing from that to the next thing afterwards, and knowing that I've got like deadlines and things to be working on, not actually enjoying the moment and being present. And it's just, and having thought of all of that, again, going back to self-care, I was like, I'm going to miss out on something fun and something that I enjoy doing, but it's ultimately for the greater good of, I need to just take stock of myself, dial it back, re-engage, catch up, move on.
Because there's no way, even though I hear what you're saying, it's this thing that you enjoy, but if you're going to be so rushed, you're not going to truly enjoy or be in it. Like, it's not going to be quality. You know what I mean?
Like when I went 4x4 3 weeks ago, I was aware I had there was no restriction to it. It was all cool. If I go do that again today, I'm just going to be hating it.
Yeah. And you're not going to perform in your little 4x4 adventure.
Listen,
exactly.
Got to show off.
Exactly. So that's a biggie. I agree. I think but it's a bit, it leans into overcommitment.
Yeah, yes.
Because I overschedule overcommitments for myself as well, which is like, it's a bit toxic. Like,
and a little bit of, I've heard this term recently, specifically for ADHD people, of time blindness.
Yeah, tell me more.
So time blind, it's like this not having a genuine concept of time.
Yes,
so
how long it will take.
Yes, and the impact that has, and the effect that has on other commitments, and the time that it takes. So I think I've been dealing a little bit with that as well.
But I think a lot of people do that. 100% with you on that. I think a lot of people do that because you underestimate like how long it's going to take you to do something.
Yes.
I can
and
work.
Stack.
Yeah, and I was like, yeah, cool. I can do that in half an hour, and it's like a 2-hour, 3-hour job, like no problem. So they're 100%. But I think for me, if I have this new rule, if it's not on my calendar, it's not happening. So like, even if I have to flip and read my book now in the mornings, I schedule my 5 to 6 or 5 to 7 in there.
Okay.
And I schedule the actual time.
Yeah.
Like if I have an appointment, I schedule in the travel time and the comeback time.
Yes,
like, you know what I mean? Whereas like, normally I would pack up and I'm like, oh gosh, I thought I had 2 o'clock open, and then I was coming still from another meeting.
Sorry, just to go back to the concept of grounding. Something else. So I've been very diligently trying to schedule and time block and routine and calendar and and that's all very left brain. And something that my therapist said to me recently is that the reason that I'm defaulting so much to like doom scrolling and stuff at the moment is because I'm rebelling against all that stuff that I've done. And a form of grounding to just reconnect with yourself and bring it down is to activate your, I think it's the left brain, which is the creative side.
You just said scheduling is left brain.
Okay, so then you want to access your right.
Okay,
I think
the other one, basically.
Whichever one is the creative one. And she was like, yo, do some collaging. Like, just like have a focus in mind, and do this. And I was like, that sounds so peaceful. Like, it just sounds so good. Take some time out. She was like, take 2 hours in the morning on a weekend.
That's planned.
Yeah.
You actually have
I
to
know, you have to
schedule
to not schedule.
Yeah. And that's why, like, you block it out as nothing.
Yes.
You can literally block it nothing, but the thing is, if it's not somewhere, you're going to put something in there.
Yes.
Which is the issue I have. It's like, if it's empty, I put something in.
Yes.
My mouth's empty, I eat more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's an issue, but like, I agree with her, but it's like, you actually have to.
You do have to schedule it in.
Or no, you have to have pockets of nothing. So I realized
Right.
yesterday, between going for my meeting, which was kind of intense, it's awesome, but it was like a lot of thinking. Driving, that 20-minute driving to meet you was not enough for me. Yeah. I was wired. That's why I didn't. But if I finished my meeting in time and not run over, I would have had half an hour just to lie on my couch and quickly just get my mind a little bit more open, and I would have made you in a calmer state.
Yes.
Not that I was frantic, but I was a bit like, oh.
Yeah.
And then I think I would have slept maybe even a bit better. So
Sure.
It's having a bit of a pocket breather in between for me.
So I schedule in half an hour. After every time I have a meeting, I schedule in half an hour to go through what the meeting was about, which is probably why meetings are such a waste of time. But I have like an action item list time block to be like, okay, I've just spent an hour in this meeting. There are things from that meeting that I now need to do.
Yes.
Here's my half an hour to do those things. Otherwise, they just get thrown into onto the master to-do list, and you just get overwhelmed.
But that happened to me on this body in the beginning, where we would record and then say edit, and I was like, oh, I didn't schedule the stuff I had to do in between.
Right.
I remember then you said to me, cool, where's this? And I'm like,
listen,
God, I had to schedule
let's not talk about it.
So it happened. I think I think that happens. That is kind of self-care routine in this.
Yes.
Bottom line, that is it.
Self-care, giving yourself time to do nothing. Yeah. Or something creative, or something that's grounding.
Yeah, or just like that gap.
Yes, yeah.
And not showing up maybe for like a month or a week because your life is a mess, and then just saying to yourself, I need to order my life.
Yes.
Whatever.
That was exactly like when I canceled my plans today. I was just like, I just need to breathe. Yeah, and that's so important.
True.
Listen,
I think that's it. Yeah.
Those are so many self-care tips, and
people aren't grateful then in this fuckle.
I know, literally, like we've given you guys so much value
I'd love
in
to
this
know if
episode.
there's other angles to this. If people like, I would flip and love to know if there are other angles or what other people are doing in this.
Yeah, I want to know more self-care stuff.
Yeah. And I know the stuff of like a mask and a Betty and the nails, and I know all that. I think that's the common stuff. And the trend now is to say that self-care, but there's also more. But I would love to know the other side. Like boundaries. What boundaries do you have that is self-care?
Yes.
Love to know more about that.
Yeah.
Like literally, I think that would be super interesting for me. So comment, like I would literally love to know. Or DM if you want to know. Everyone must know your thing. Yes.
But yeah, so self-care, some things that we do. If there's any fun stuff that you do, please let us know. And let's go breathe.
I need to eat lunch now. That's self-care.
Yeah, that is self-care.
Gotta go. Love you.
Bye.